Alright, we have Demon Lord Hauberk for this week. It's going to be Mutant type, fire attribute with player armor. It's pretty straightforward. Mutant type have a pretty decent amount of critical resistance, so you might want to boost up your critical rate as high as possible. Now for the weekly pattern skill, it's going to be overcharged, dead runes, void explosion, magic absorption, as well as accuracy specialty. If your character have a lot of evasion, you might want to consider removing it and use something else because accuracy specialty is pretty deadly. Technically, this boss will hit you every single time. Now, overcharge, this is pretty straightforward. This is like counterclockwise after region. What it does, it increases your character damage by 50% if both boss and monster is in the same regions. Now, the region will start overload after 1 minute. It increases your damage by 200% if both character and bosses is in the same region, but it also inflicts damage over time and reduce healing effects. So technically, you will get stacks on your characters, and this is very important by the way, because what I do recommend is actually saving your skills, wait until the actual regions start activating and burst all your skill and run away from it. So this way you don't have to stay on the regions forever, and you can also dish out a huge amount of damage. The next one is going to be Dead Rune. Dead Rune is actually a magic circle skill that will pop up at least 1 second and explode right away. It's kind of hard to see because the rune is very small, but it does a lot of damage and also decrease your character accuracy. So if you have accuracy trinkets, like for example, hold on, give me a second. Okay, so for my weapon right now, I don't have accuracy right besides Inker, but if you had a Bivore trinket would give you accuracy, this is actually pretty good as well to actually deal with the Dead Rune. But overall, I don't have any problems to hit the boss even with having a debuff from the Dead Rune. Now the next one is going to be Void Explosions. Void Explosions is one of the most deadly skills. What it does is that the boss will charge up for at least 3 or 4 seconds and he will release an explosion right in front of him. The only way to dodge this ability is actually run behind the boss right the moment he casts the Void Explosion. If somehow the boss casts it at the same time that you move away from him, he actually will turn around and that Void Explosion will also hit you as well. Also, the Void Explosion also decreases damage by 80%, but also blind your target, so this is actually pretty huge by the way. If you try to rank at least to get to the top 10 or maybe top 5, you might want to consider avoiding every single Void Explosion as much as possible. Alright, next we have Magic Absorption. Now Magic Absorption, the boss will summon 3 different portals. Each portal will release an orb that fly toward the boss, and each orb will give the boss a unique effect. The blue one will increase magic defense, which is pretty bad for magic DPS. The red one will increase the damage, which is a huge plus for the boss because what he can do, he actually can stack up the red damage to increase the Void Explosion damage. So technically this boss can actually one-shot you with the Void Explosion if you manage to get hit by this thing, as well as the boss having a huge amount of red stack. Now lastly, the gray one will increase the boss physical defense, which is really bad for physical DPS. So depending on which class you're doing, especially for the damage, if you're magic, go for the blue ones. If you're physical DPS, go for the gray one. If you don't want the boss to one-shot you with Void Explosion, go for the red one. Alright, so for my equipment, it's pretty straightforward. What I'm using right now is actually the new 7.0 DS92 and mace. I actually tried to get plus 21, but it didn't go well, so I lost roughly 150 mils to try to use Ruby Anvil and unveiling this thing to plus 21, so that is pretty bad in my opinion. That's the biggest mistake that I ever did with my characters. Now, the only difference is that this 7.0 cannot use random status Inker, so I technically have to roll for this status. It's actually pretty good by the way because I'm actually using the new status, attack against medium type target for offsetting as well as leather armor target. Technically, 2 to this will give me 22.8% damage reduction for my character. Let me explain how this actually works. Medium type target is basically my character, and then the leather armor target is basically my character wearing the leather armor. So if you have plate armor, you might want to consider getting the attack against plate armor target offsetting, which is pretty good by the way. So with this, I don't have to get the new Legend Glacier armor, and then I don't have to worry about the damage reduction against bosses. It's pretty, in my opinion, right now with attack set effect, it's still pretty decent. I don't have to invest into Glacier or Disney Savinos. Those will give me a huge amount of damage on specific content that I'm doing, especially for the weekly raid boss. Going forward with that is really based on the amount of resources that you have available, but as it's for now, I'm fine with this one. Now for the card, it's actually very straightforward. The red one, use the Cursed Glove, Devil Glove. This is actually pretty good against the monsters, especially the mutant type. And then for the legend one, it's going to be Demon Lord Marnox card to give the extra critical minimum crit chance against the mutant bosses and monsters. Those guys have a lot of critical resistance. Blue one is gonna be Zarkov for extra physical defense. Now, Demon Lord Hauberk will do a lot of physical damage, so this one is actually pretty good. The green one is pretty straightforward. Any card that gives you raw damage based on your classes. For example, Lucief for intelligence, which give me a lot of magic attack. Man, look at that. I went from 30,000 all the way to 34,000, which is really huge, by the way. Purple ones, now, Demon Lord Hauberk does have a fused knockback skill, but it's not like completely knocking you into the air. It's more like struggling, it's like pushing you away from him. So if you're using a very specific like DPS card, for example, like the May cards, in my opinion, where's the May cards? So the May cards increase your character critical rate, which is pretty good, by the way. In my opinion, it's pretty good. But if you're struggling to deal with Demon Lord Hauberk's knockback, get at least 3 gazing on card. It's gonna be better. But for my setup right now, I have a permanent knockback from the outer body, so I don't have to worry about that one. Alright, there are a few other items that you need to take with you, especially the Leticia potions is gonna decrease boss damage for 10 minutes, which is really good, by the way. And then for the other potions, which is the Goddess Retribution potions or the hero one, either one of these will increase the damage against the mutant bosses and monster, which is not bad at all. Whoa, what the heck is that? Never seen that before. What? Okay, someone just did transformation on that. Okay, never mind. Anyway, back to the other ones. Now, for the next one, it's gonna be Enchant. We have 2 options here. My best option is actually the buff one. I don't think I have any problem with the buff durations, especially against reduced accuracy. But if that is your problem, then I would recommend getting this one. But the other one you might want to get is actually the buff one. This is actually pretty good for most classes, in my opinion. Also, the SPR to cons conversion. This one is good for magic build as well, because you guys are the one who have a lot of SPR status. So with that, I'm going for with the buff durations. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick. Alright, nice, we're inside. Also, if you're interested in the skill builds, I recommend checking the video description below for the Exorcist Shadow and Crusaders. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and use the buff right here. And this one. Wow, that's a lot of buff. Let's see how we do for the first one. What the heck is that? Oh, not bad. We can actually crit this boss. That's good. Gotta watch out for death runes. The health doesn't pop right away. That's a lot of damage reduction. That's a death rune. I could not dodge that. We should be fine. Look at that. I'm not having problems even with my accuracy reductions. Alright, here we go. And go. No, I missed that. Oh, nice. So this is what happened if you get hit by the void explosion. Your technically will be blind. I believe it's auto decrease the damage as well. Yeah, it's decrease the damage by 80%. So that is not good at all if you're playing to rank. Watch out. Huh. I guess this is not bad at all in my opinion. Alright. Blue. We need to get a blue. Alright. Good. Okay, so that was magic absorptions. Since I'm doing magic damage, I should get the blue one because it increases their magic defense for the bosses. I should not have any problem here. Think. There will be an overcharge area soon, but I'm gonna stay here because I have a lot of damage reductions. Oh god, no. No. Oh, why are you staying over there? Oh no, he's taking a lot of stacks. That's not good. What the heck is that? Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the body barriers. Wow, magic source is still ongoing? Jeez. Yeah, there's no way to move the boss down right now. I don't want him to get way too many boot stacks for the magic defense. Let's move down here. There's a dead runes, we should be fine. Oh, another void explosions. Yes, we dodged that. Nice. Just like that. And we should be able to dodge the void explosion pretty easy. He does have a few knockback attacks. I just realized that, but I don't think that's a problem at all. Alright, this was going here. This bot is actually pretty straightforward. Yeah, but yep, he does have a shotgun attack. Nice. Gotta be careful on that one too. Yep, there go to shotgun attack. I'm gonna avoid that. I don't want to stay on that one. Wow, that does a lot of damage. Alright, we do have to repair. Bring some repair kit for this bot as well, because sometimes your armor will break. Not a bad damage so far. Right, active zone happening now. I think we could do a little bit burst damage if we get out. Alright, let's get out. I don't want to deal with him in the areas. Having the watch out, dead runes. Another burst attacks. That's a lot of damage. Alright, we got a massive absorption. Careful on that one. Oh, we need to get him in here. Come in here, come in here. There we go, there we go. Okay. That doesn't look good. Dang it, how did I get hit by that? Why can't I hit him? Oh, right. I forgot about the silent thing too. Looking good so far. There's a dead runes, no problems. So there are a lot of sacrifice you have to make against this boss, especially against void explosions, as well as slowed effects, and then you have magic absorption as well. So that is really bad in my opinion. I'm doing pretty decent amount of damage. I should be able to reach 1 very easily. Alright, let's go here, go here. Yeah, I didn't have chance to actually use most of my buff at the moment right now, but I should be fine in terms of damage. I'm gonna drop everything here and we'll blow out. Nice, 5 million. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Alright, let's drop this here. So if you're playing to rank, you might want to consider putting some extra effort to try to time your damage along with your cooldowns. So when the overload happens, you can actually drop on your skills and just walk away. Another void explosion coming out. Happening now. Nice, we dodged that. What the heck is that? Oh, it's a slowed effect. Wow. Okay. Okay, that is actually pretty lucky because if I get a slow effect, there's no way I can dodge the attack on these void explosions. That rune's pretty straightforward. I don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and drop everything here. What happened here? Okay, there we go. Where's the magic one? Found it. Not bad at all. We got 1 billion damage. It's a little bit skeptical about this bot, to be honest, especially with all the skills going around. And then you have magic absorption, and you have to stand here and taking damage. Standing on an overload is not a bad idea, but having your damage like over time and reduce healing is pretty bad in most cases. Unless you have, if you're really rich with having a lot of healing potion, I think this might be pretty good. Looking good so far. I should be fine. Oh wow, I'm standing all the way in there. This is OP. Okay, we need some healing. 30 stacks. Let's go and grab this. Oh god, no. Okay, we cool. Wow, that was really close. We have 11 seconds. Okay, that's not bad. And we should be good to go. So this boss is pretty straightforward. I don't see any problems of dealing with this boss, to be honest, because all the damage that I'm doing is just running counterclockwise. If you have a really good amount of damage reduction, especially coming out from your offsetting status, for the right of status inker, that is going to be a huge plus against this boss. And then if you use the Letitia potions, which reduce the boss damage further with 30%, that is really big in my opinion.